All right. So first, I'm going to review, starting from chapter 12. So we finished chapter 11, so let's do chapter 12, the review. The first question here, you will see this is a string, and I include string class. I include the class string. All right. So take a look. Because I include the string class, I'm able to use string length. String length is one of the function in the string class. Okay. Now, somehow part, I need to ask you question based on these two questions. There's a one here, and look, there's a pointer here, and I need to ask you question right here. So take a look at the question here right now. And number one question, I want you to declare a string variable, okay, and assign your name as literal. So do it right now and see who's first one can write it down on the chat room. So I need you to declare a string variable and assign your name as a literal var. Hold on, let me control my dog. She's in and out, in and out. Okay, so who's the first one can write that answer for me? Declare a string variable. Assign your name as a literal value. Okay, do it right now. Okay, don't forget your final exam is Thursday, so you probably need to learn how to do it now. So please do it right now. Let me see who can do it. All right, so you probably want to use this example here. Take a look. All right, I have something case string name, and this is called literal. So I put CIT 126 professor as the literal. All right, so now I ask you to have a variable name, the variable string variable, and string variable. Okay, then let's call this name. Okay, let me do this. Okay, so I want to declare a string variable. Name is my name. It's okay. Then assign your name as the literal variable. Okay, so who is the first one can type it for me? Hurry up. Jeff. All right. So what you do? All right. So Jeff, very good. So you forgot the equal sign. Is that right? Okay. So let me copy Jeffrey thing. It's perfect. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to copy Jeffrey thing. So string. All right. And my name and put equal Jeffrey. Thank you so much. Perfect. Okay. That's good. All right. So now let's do the second one. Okay. Let's do the second one. Declare a character array. So go back to look for your example number one. Go scroll up to see your example number one. Example number one, I have character, professor, name, and Professor Liu. So use that example to declare a character array. Okay, character name. Assign your name, and same thing, I want to name it my name. And assign your name as the initial value. So do it right now. Right now is a character array. Okay, so what Jeffrey did is a string. So when Jeffrey did string, you must, in order to do like number one, you must include string.h. String.h. Do you understand? For this, in order to do this, okay, you must include, okay, string.h. Be able to do this. Okay, so you will be able to do this is easier way. Now we're going to do a string character right now. So let me see who's the First one to write down that, please. All right, still Jeffrey. Okay, so we are going to do right now. Very good. So Jeffrey understand this very well. So what happened to other people, huh? All right, so let me put the answer. How about in yellow color? So you can study that. It's okay. All right. So number 3, a little bit trickier. A little bit trickier. So I need to declare a pointer. Okay, declare a pointer. Okay, and name it my pointer. My pointer. Okay, and point to a string variable named address. So do it right now, please. Declare a pointer, name it my pointer. Point to a string variable named address. How about somebody else? Teddy, Weihao, Jiayi, anybody else? Try it. All right, let's try it right now. So pretty soon I'm leaving you right now. You cannot just let Jeffrey do everything. Obviously Jeffrey understand. Will be a good programmer. But what happened others? We take the entire semester together, right? How about number 3? So what you do is go back to the example I gave to you. All right. So what we do is we need to have a pointer. My pointer is address. Okay. Very good. Okay. All right. So Jeffrey did it again for you. All right. So and here I'm just going to do you a favor here. I also need to declare a string. String here, and is the address. So once you do that, then you have the pointer for that. Guys, if you don't know how to do that, how are you going to do your final exam, huh? So all the time what you are doing, okay? So prompt to the user to enter address to the variable address. So enter address. So prompt the user to enter address right now. So how do you do that? How do you do that? So let me write it down CL and you write down others. Okay. So enter an address. All right. So that's what I do. Enter an address right here. Then you do me a favor right now. The address may be like 3600 Workman Mail Row, blah blah blah, street address, but there's a content space. So how do you do that? So enter variable address, and I want to say the address may contain space. It's okay. Number and special characters. All right. So if I say enter the address, who is going to do the address seeing for me? Anybody? All right. Anybody? I'm talking to Jeff only. Or to my hand. And my Summer, my dog. My dog learn more C++ right now. Not just kidding. Come on. Who can give me answer? Okay, Louise, that's good. C in address. But if you put C in address, you will not allow that address to have a spaces. Okay? You are not allowed to have spaces. In order to allow that address to have a spaces, you must do get line. All right? Then C in, then address. All right. So Luis, you doing this way. Okay, let me write it down here. Okay, this is this cin will not allow address to contain spaces. It's okay. So you don't want that. You don't want that. It's okay. So this is what you need. You don't want this one. You don't want this one. It's okay because you want spaces. It's okay. You want spaces. All right. So we are going to do next one right now. We're going to do next one. So I finished these two. Okay. These are two. Then I give you a question right now. Next one, I need you to study this. Is chapter 12, homework 1, palindrome. Palindrome. Check palindrome. Okay. And the second one is so you study the palindrome first. I have a question for you. Then encryption. All right. So guys, you guys are so sleepy. I need you to study for 5 minutes. So 11:50. Let me ask you a question, one by one. Okay, I'm not going to let you just hiding behind your Netflix, just locking, and and let teacher do the show, and you just wait till everything. All right. So right here. All right. So right here, 5 minutes for you study. But let me review this. This is another way. So this is a way after you leave me. Anytime if any assignment, any project is deal with string. Okay, so for example, a question wants you to manipulate the string, say change to uppercase, lowercase, or search string, or palindrome, or anything. All right, so easy way is derived from string class. So look, the first one here, we include string. Because you include string, you are allowed to use string length. Okay, so string length, no big deal because you can count it too. But string length is more professional. Okay, you got that. Now, second one, we also include string. Do you understand? So once we include string, we can use length. Okay, we can use length. We are going to do a little bit more right now. So what happened is this. Okay, sorry. Okay, so the second one, we inherit string. We derive from string. Once you derive from string, you have much more powerful thing right now. You can retrieve as a pointer. Okay, so let's take a look example number 1. So let me point out when you read so you understand the difference. So for this one, so put in your mind when you go to 4 years, do project, or when you get a job, do any project. When you need to deal with string, the first thing in your mind is you want to inherit. You want to inherit from string. So look here, you create a class PS string, public string. So tell me what this line mean. Tell me this line mean. So you have a class PS string. You have a class PS string. So PS string inherits string. So you need to go back to find out that string, the notes I gave you. Man, that string class is powerful. So many functions right there. Okay, to upper, to lower, we saw that already. But you can do string copy, then you can do compare, you can do a lot of things. You can go back. I don't have time to go back. I was hoping you read it. I don't know whether you read it. So now This is a new way I teach you right now. If you wanted to deal with string, number one in your mind is that's inherit string, because then you stand on top, on the shoulder, you stand on top of a giant shoulder. You see farther. You are using strings wings to fly. Otherwise, you need to write all those functions. Those functions are very complicated, very dedicated function. So look here. I'm going to create something called PS string. Then I inherit the string. So remember, this will be under exam. What does this mean? When I inherit string, how do you inherit string? Now this one is the ideal example because we're doing the palindrome. What does palindrome mean? Can anyone explain to me? What does palindrome mean? Michael, Saulo, anybody? What does palindrome mean? Come on. Thank you, Teddy. The word read the same from left to right and right to left. So, Teddy, since we are deal with the word right to left and left to right, so looks like we are manipulate string. So this is ideal. First thing in your mind is you need to inherit string class. All right. So this thing you first thing comes to your mind is you must do that, because the string class has many functions can help you. All right. So I inherit. So because the teacher say I must inherit string class, is that right? Okay. So my PS string class inherit string class. All right. Can anybody write the C++ statement to inherit for PS string class to inherit string class? Can anybody write that for me, please? Write the C++ statement, just header. Write the C++ header statement for the, can you write down that for me, please? Let me put that question right here. All right, can anyone write that for me? All right, so Andrew, that's right. Class PS string and public string. Yes, that's good. Thank God somebody answered this. I thought I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to my hand. Okay. Yes, very good. Thank you. All right. Huh, that's not a good color. Doesn't look clear. Okay. So maybe that is okay. All right. Thank you. So now, in case you do inherit from a string, okay, and your PS string is a derived class, okay. So in this case, if you do that right now, your string is the base class, and PS string is the derived class. All right, understand right now? So in case you do that, then your string is your base class, and your PS string is a derived class. Okay, so boys and girls, right here, we need to do this right now. Okay, so we are going to a programmer. So we're going to display a string. When we display a string here, you have to use a pointer, because your PS string is a derived class. You understand? You're going to derived class for string. So string is a class, so it's empty. So it doesn't have the content for the string, like what we say, address equals something. That has to go to the main program. So I don't have right now. You understand? So the string class already defined, but string class is used pointer way. It's a pointer way. So what happened is my PS string, I have no way. My PF string, you doing the PF string here, okay? So you doing the PF string here, to get your string. Then you must use pointer notation to display a string. All right, to display a string. All right, so for example, okay, for example, right here. For example, let's take a look example here. So, for example, here in the main program, so I say, CL enter a, how about enter a string, any string. It's okay. So enter a string right here. Then we are going to do a string here. So we're going to do here. So the way we do this is we must do PS PS string. All right. So we're doing this, and go back to read this. Your PS string right there is S. Okay, because that's you put it, string S. All right, so hold on, enter a string here, and I need to know my string is here. What's a name for that? Let me put like this. Okay, let me put like a string. Okay, let me put secret. Yeah, do I spell right? Secret must be wrong. Secret. All right, so I do secret right now. So when I enter a string here, you are inherit. So boys and girls, you inherit from your string. So basically, based on your right to do it, I have here. Okay, all right. So I have here right now is S. Okay, so what you do is this. You're going to do S. All right, then secret. All right. That's how you prompt the user. Okay, and sorry, this is prompt the user to okay, so this is in the main string. Hold on. Let me change this to secret, okay? Alright, so what happened? I need you to use a pointer to write it out. Alright, so to use a pointer to write it out is this, okay? So to we check those thing, then we are going to do like this, okay? So alright, so lower and upper, those are the pointer location. But the thing is, you are going to use these. Alright, so these you use the pointer and point to the address right here. Alright, so this will be use pointer. Okay, so when you inherit from the string, you need to do like this way. Alright, so far okay. So those are the questions for that one. Alright, let's do next one right now. Next one. I am going to do a encryption. Alright. So this class obvious also. So right here, this class also derive a string class. So you inherit from, how do you know you do that? Because it's a public string. So this program also derive from a string class. So you inherit a string because you want to do encryption. Encryption means the manipulate the the order of the words. So of course, then you are going to inherit string. So first thing you need to do, anyone give you assignment about doing anything with string, you just need to inherit string first. Okay, so right here, my class encryptable string increase string right now. Alright, so I don't need to write any code here. The reason is what? String already write for you. I don't need to pay attention what I use here. I'm using S. So later use S. Okay. Now, right here, whenever I'm deal with my retrieve my variable, always use parentheses, star this, and the whatever variable, right? Whatever character right here. So these will be on the exam, okay? Like it or not, memorize this, okay? So remember, here I was using S. All right, so remember right now, like it or not, remember, okay? So later you can at least work like a professional. That's S right here. Is that right? So you are going to use S and string. This is a string here, you put string here. If this is secret, you put secret here. All right? So let's do the question right now. So class encrypt, we encrypt those string derived from string class to encrypt string. All right? So same thing here. All right? Write the C++ statement header file to for file for class encryptable string. Okay, to inherit. All right, class string. Do it right now. And who can write it for me? We did that before one more time. Let's see who can do a second time. You guys are sleepy? That's right, Teddy. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Teddy. All right. Thank you. So read the code right now. Can you tell me how does the encryptable string class encrypt the input string? I already put the answer for you. All right. Use the ASCII code number. What does ASCII code number means. So if this is cat, no, let me do this, okay? If this car, okay, car is the input, all right? Can you encrypt car for me, everybody, using the way right now, next ASCII code. All right, so by the way, the second World War II, second one, all right, so encryption and description is so important because that time they use telegraph, okay? So then a bunch of spy need to find out what they say. Actually, they a group of people, I think in UK, in British, a bunch of computer scientists, they were drafted by the government, by UN, okay, and they be able to encrypt, descript what the command issued by the Germany. Based on that, I don't know how much true is that. They say because of that, the supercomputer was invented. Number two, the World War II actually ended because these accomplishments by the computer scientist. All right, that's the end of story. Write it down the answer for me. Okay, so I'm going to use the ASCII code, next ASCII code. Is that right? What's after C? What's after C? D. So car become D. What's after A? What's after A? What's letter after A? B. Okay, RS. Yes. So the car is DBS. Okay, so the car is DBS. All right. So let me write down here. So if I use the next ASCII code here, all right. So CAR will be encrypted as what? DBS. All right. So because C, D is after C, right? B is after A, and S is after R. All right. So I don't know. I'm talking to my hands. You guys don't listen to me. Write a C++ code to. All right. So this is a code you inherit. That is a code you do it. So because what you do is you are going to do the next one. Okay, plus next one, and you want to get the content. The content you use pointer. You use a pointer notation. You have no choice because you inherit string, and string use pointer. So you want to retrieve the value of the character. You use pointer, and pointer is this, right? You use asterisk. Asterisk in front of the pointer allows you to retrieve the value. So this means my ASCII code, okay, ASCII code, okay. Next one is plus, and I take the value out. When you take the value out, remember this. You use the pointer way. Use a pointer way. All right. So this is an easy one. Do you think we can use this again during the Second World War? No, because if you use these like this all the time, all right, your enemy will figure out this in 2 seconds. So maybe different way. Do you understand? Those called strategy. Okay. So maybe you say maybe the way. So you need to figure out different way to encrypt. So maybe you say I'm going to plus 3. All right. If I plus 3 and A become 1. A become D. Is that right? So maybe is plus 3. If all right, so A will become A will be D, something like that. Or it's not only that, they may be doing all different ways. Say all the vowel doing this, all the consonant doing this. So this encryption. All right, but entire encryption we are going to use by what? String. So one more time, let me explain to you. If you are going to use string, the first thing you have to inherit string. Understand? This is chapter 12. Okay, chapter 12. I hope you like the review.